Okay, so this is the second part of weaving this chair. In the last video I showed you how to weave the seat, and today I'll show you how to weave the back. Now the back is a little bit more tricky, and I always recommend starting with the seat. So if you haven't watched it, I recommend you go do that, because all of the basic stuff we do on the seat we do on the back as well. The back is just a little bit harder. So like always, instead of trying to explain the process, I will just do it, and while I do it I will explain what I do and why I do it. So I guess I'll just begin. Now you want to start pulling about 15 arm lengths of the paper cord. We are going to be weaving the vertical strings like we did on the seat first, and then we will cover the frame with paper cord just like on the seat. The process is just a little bit different. So what we want to do first is take the cord, and we want to attach it on the inside of the frame here. And I'll just give it one more like that, and I will cut it. Now the tools, I've got to mention that we're going to use the same tools we did on the seat. So that's a stapler, a basic cable cutter, and that should actually do it. Maybe a hammer, but nothing that you wouldn't have lying around. Now maybe you don't have this, but I believe a smaller one would be just as fine. But I explained that in the first video, so maybe try to watch that. If you don't have this one, just use a less powerful one. So the difference on the back is that before we did all of the strings across, and then we covered the back, the frame and the frame. So now we will cover this frame while we are weaving the vertical cord. And the reason for that is we do not have the nails to go around. So I will show you. You see the markings on the frame. Now when you remove the last part, the last seat or the last back, you should see some markings along the way, both here and on this side. And these indicate where we want to go across, and in between we will cover the frame. So the first one going all the way is out here, and I will cover the frame until that part. So that's about here. Now if your chair doesn't have these markings, what I would do is measure the distance on the seat, and I would simply just each maybe 2 centimeters put a mark. 2 or 2.5 centimeters I would put a mark, and I would just go for that. So I did 2 rounds here, and now we are going to go all the way down. So we go up on the back like this, because this chair has the back is covered both on the front and the back. So we go up from behind like this and then down again. And this can be a little bit annoying. So what I'm focusing on not letting go, because if I lose the tension here, this will just jump up. So you see, we have 2 on the front and 2 in the back. And now I will put this cord, I will cover this frame until the next marking. And then I'll just go down again, like this. And I will place this on top of the marking down there. Now you should try to make it as tight as possible, but not like too tight, just like this, if you can see, that'll do. Once again, I will cover the frame until we reach the next marking. And it seems like 3 or 4 is sufficient, but that will change depending on who weaves it, and we all do it in a slightly different way. So sometimes the distance will be greater than it is here, and you will just have to put maybe 4 or 5 in between, and it doesn't really matter. So that's actually what we will do for the first part, and I will fast forward until I reach this point, because this is a little bit tricky. But if you are not sure how it works, you can always ask me a question in the comments, but try to watch it again. I'm pretty sure you should be able to figure it out. Okay, so I didn't quite get this far because obviously we need to add some more cord, and the way we do that is we simply, like on the seat, we staple it on the inside and we add more cord. So like that, and I like to give it another one like that. You can cut it. And that seems fine. I always like to check both the front and the back and down here if any of the cord has overlapped, because that will be tricky to fix. So adding more cord, I will place it in here and I will stable it, and I will give it another one going to the side, so that now we are covering it with cord. And then we simply proceed. Now the angle I'm filming this at it might be tricky to see exactly up close what I'm doing, and I've placed the camera at a distance because I'm moving the chair a lot while I weave it, and it can be tricky to stay within the frame, but I hope it's good enough. show you how to add cord up close so that you know exactly what to do. And I finished the last cord by going around, stapling it there and pulling it over here and stapling it again, so that now we are weaving on top of it. Then I take the next cord and I place it like this, and I staple it like that, and I take it over here and staple it again. You see? So now we are going like a top on top of it. So now we are at the end, and I will simply just take the end of the cord and I will staple it on the inside here. Okay. So now let's get to the next part. So now we need to cover this with paper cord, like it is at the top and on the seat. So this is basically the same as when we did the seat. We will simply attach the paper cord in here and we will just wind it around. So what I'll do is I will take the end of the cord and I will staple it in here like that. And then I will just cut off the excess cord. So here you want to really pay attention to how many cords are in between, because this is not fixed like it is on the seat. So you basically want to copy what you did on the top of the frame. So on the top of the frame I have 2 here, then I will put 2 here. So here, from here to here, I have 3, so I will do 3 here. So as you see, we have no more cord. I will attach this on the inside. Like that. And always one more time. Simply cut it off. And then I will pull this over and attach this on the inside, right here. And now we just begin weaving again. So now we are at the complicated part. So here you want to, instead of going all the way around, you want to just go up through this hole, because on the back we will have covered the frame already. So, now we're done, and as you might have guessed, I just gave it one of the staples on the inside here, and now we are ready to weave this way. So, now it's time to weave the last part, which is the horizontal part, and I'll just begin. Now this goes both on the front and the back, and for that reason I've set up two cameras so you can see what I do from the front, and then I will try to edit it so you can see what I do on the back as well, even though it's the same thing. But for the first few lines I will cut to the back view as well. So what we'll do is we will pull out a decent amount of the cord. And then we gotta find the middle. So I will, while I hold this, I will run this through. So now we have both the ends, and I will take my finger through like this until I reach the end. So here we have it. This I will attach up here. Now some people weave from the down and up, but this is a matter of taste. I weave it from the up and down because I find that works better for me. So this I will attach on the inside here with the staple. And now we will go around. So we have it here, and I will take it around the frame and start weaving it on the back. So just like on the seat, we go above and beneath and above and beneath, just alternating between those two. And typically I will do 2 rounds and then I will tighten it. So before I tighten it, I just go to the front, do the same thing. Now it doesn't matter if you start by going under or beneath, that's a matter of taste, it doesn't really matter, honestly. You just do what you find easy. So, as I've said, I will do 2 rounds. The most important thing here is to make sure that it doesn't cross over. So now we went above, so we want to go beneath now. And the reason I'm not tightening yet, I will show you. Okay, so we've done the 2 rounds, and since this goes on the back, I will start tightening from this spot and going around the same way we weaved it. So I will take this, I will just do like this, and I will pull the second round up with it. So I'll try to get this tied over here, and I will simply move this up along with it. And this way we will get a good start. So I think that looks pretty good, because if I didn't take this through and pulled it up with it, this would just go straight ahead instead of weaving up and down. So we go to the front and we do the same thing. And then to the back again. can just start going without having the one underneath. And don't be alarmed if this doesn't go all the way up. It will when we get to the next round. So I'll pull this to make it tight over here. I'll hold my finger and I will just push it up. Now you should be able to see that this is coming up the way it's supposed to. See? Like that. That's very good. now you see I have no more cord, and I want to add more cord. And this is where these come in. So we want to tie this end to the next part, and we will hide the knot underneath here. So you will take out some more cord, you will find the middle and bring this and tie this to this. So I will show you. Since we need to hide the knot underneath here, we don't need that much cord. I'll just take it through and I will tie it so that it's in the middle here. Kind of like that. You see? So the end is there. I will make, oops, wrong one, double. Like that. So if I pull this now, it should go beneath, let's see, right here. Like that, you see. So the knot is hidden beneath these 5 cords. Now I can continue. And this will get adjusted when we add more layers. So basically, this is all the information you need to weave this part of the chair. But of course I will take it all the way and finish the back in this video. When you are getting further down, you might notice that this, you know, the lines going across, they will start to shift a bit, but you can adjust it. So what I like to do is take like something like an ice pick or a screwdriver, and I'll just put it inside here, and I'll just pull them a bit to the right, because in my case they move left. And that should adjust the lines. What I forgot to say before is when you make this knot, you have to do it on a cord that goes underneath. So I wouldn't be able to do it with this because this is above. So you gotta do it with a line that goes underneath. That's very important. So you'll have to kind of evaluate when you need to do it. So if you're going underneath here and you have some amount of cord left, you need to be able to do 2 more to get underneath again. Because if you only can do 1, then you are above, and then you will not be able to do the knot. So now you see I don't have that much cord left, and what I'll do is I'll try to measure if I can go around, because this is beneath, so I'll try to measure if I can go around 2 times, and it seems like I can't, so I can only come this far, and I cannot tie it here, because then it will be above. So actually I gotta tie it here, and this is just wasted cord, and you know that happens. Now I'm doing pretty short, I'm doing a pretty low amount of cord. Usually I pull out maybe 3 times as much, but this is just to show you how it's done. So I will add more cord onto here and continue the chair. Place this in here wherever I want, because this is the nut that's going to be holding it. So I think I like it right there, and I will just do a double like that, and you can always just pull it a bit to tighten it. So you see now actually it's a bit too far, but that's because I pulled this. So I will remake this. Now I think we are good to go. So we can go underneath here, like that. And if any of the ends stick out, you can just push them in and pull it out. Okay, so now we are free to continue. So the chair's done, and apparently my camera turned off, so I did not capture the rest of the back. Now I think the only information you need to finish it, I believe we got to around here, and the only tricky part is at the armrest here and there. And what you do is you simply go into the opening here and here instead of around. So that's basically it. Now finishing, depending on where you stop, I like to stop on the back because the staples will be invisible. So in this case I stapled it right there and put the end of the cord inside, and that's what I like to do, and that's what I recommend. So that's it for this time. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.